everyone, my name is Trudy Midas, and I'm the owner of Spanish Silk International Products. I'm here today with two of our Spanish Silk family members. We're very proud to sponsor Lisanne Fear and Hannah Canalino with the Mustang Discovery. The Spanish Silk is a natural line of grooming products for hair and skin for humans and for animals and for the environment. So we're really honored to be a part of their team, taking them across 5,000 miles in support and honoring the 5,000 Mustangs that are in need of homes. So we are on our mission together, and we're very honored to be a part of their team.
We're riding 5,000 miles on our Mustangs that we've all tamed and trained ourselves to inspire the adoption of 5,000 more Mustangs from holding.
Right now there's around 50,000 Mustangs already rounded up that need homes, and part of our trip isn't just to get as many Mustangs adopted as possible. It's really important to us that these Mustangs find educated homes. I'm an international liberty clinician, so part of my job and where I felt like I can make the most impact in the horse world is by teaching clinics, because so much of it is the people side. And so for us, we really want to make sure that these horses are ending up in good, loving homes.
So we originally came up with this idea. I met Hannah 7 years ago at an Extreme Mustang makeover back in 2014. I was really inspired by all of her liberty work and just wanted to meet her when I went to the competition. And I'm really happy I did, because we've been friends ever since. And I ended up being her guinea pig as her first intern a couple years ago. And we kind of briefly talked about doing a trip, because my background is more in going into the mountains and outfitting and packing, and I've been doing a lot of that for the last 3 years with nothing but Mustangs. And I've been searching for a Mustang mule or a Mulestang for the last 6 years, and we finally had the opportunity to get one.
That was Miss ABILENE. ABILENE is our 13-year-old Mulestang who was actually rounded up out of Twin Peaks, California. So she was born and conceived in the wild, which is pretty crazy, a rare find. She pretty much inspired our whole trip because she kind of reunited our earlier discussions of doing something we didn't really know what together. And by finding her and actually like getting to be the ones to purchase her, just kind of instilled that this was meant to happen. So that was really awesome and very exciting. Our route is ever evolving. Initially we were actually looking at doing something like the Pacific Crest Trail or the Continental Divide Trail, similar to like the guys that did Unbranded. But as I was looking and I was really excited telling Lisanne about this, we have this Mulestang, I realized that I wouldn't be able to do it because I have this genetic disorder where I can't be in high elevation for too long a period, and those trails are essentially you're in high elevation the whole time. And I'm like, I was really sad. I reached out to Lisanne and I'm like, I'm sorry, I won't be able to do it. You'll have to find someone else to do it with. And she was super awesome. She's like, oh, that's okay. I'm sure there's another trail. And so I started researching other trails. And that's when I stumbled across the American Discovery Trail. It's a coast-to-coast trail, normally for like hikers or bikers, but they're also trying to make it more rider-friendly. And I kind of reached out to Lisanne at that point, and at this point, we were originally looking at like a 6-month commitment. And I was kind of like joking, like, oh, hey, here's a trail. It'll take us a year. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I found like the perfect person to do this ride with, and like was willing to, even though like it's so out of our comfort zone to go, you know, east to west. It would have been so much more in our comfort zone to stay in the west. Like Lisanne was super awesome in being that adaptable, and she was willing to do what needed to be done so that I could still be a part of it, which is amazing.
Nice. I'm super excited to be going along, and I mean, it's fulfilling a lifelong dream of mine where I've wanted to live off of my horse for quite a while. I've been able to do a little bit of that through ranching and everything throughout my life, but to be able to go day in, day out with the horses, I'm really excited for that factor of just the bonding that'll happen. So part of meeting Hannah was I was entered in an Extreme Mustang makeover, and that was the first makeover that I had ever done. And for that, they just throw a random horse in your trailer and they say, we'll see you in 100 days. And you have 100 days to go train a horse. And at that point, I lucked out and I got my horse Finn, and that was 7 years ago. So he's my main guy that's coming on the journey. He's been quite the ambassador for me as just a continuous inspiration, and he continues to inspire others. And then the other one that's coming along that's for sure from my group is ABILENE. And then I have a couple that we're considering because we're trying to figure out a 5th horse for the videographer. And I have a mare that her name is Salt, and when I first got her, she was really dark gray and dapply and beautiful, and I named her Salt because of a watercolor technique. But through the years, I didn't realize that grays go white. That was new to me. And she's just turned white as salt. And then I have another horse named Pistachio, and he's just the biggest goon of a horse. If there ever was a Labrador in horse form, it would be Stash. So he's definitely one of my considerations to go on the trip.
I've also got quite a few horses that I've been kind of trying to figure out where their strengths and weaknesses are and how they're going to fit into the trip. And so far, I'm pretty sure Rosette, she was my most difficult Mustang to gentle. It took me 10 months to handle her like a normal horse. But now she's amazing, and I just think of her as the horse that I can rely the most on. So I'm really looking forward to having the chance to ride across the country on her. Another horse that is, I'm pretty sure is going to be joining is BAGHEERA. He's a Ruya from Sulphur, Utah, which is kind of a herd that is known to be a little bit more sensitive and sometimes more difficult, but I love their intelligence and like the drive that they bring, so I'm really looking forward to just adding him to the team. We have burros that will probably join us at some point, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to having them join because they're pretty amazing creatures and I just love working with them. So there is also my first Mustang that I started under saddle. I was able to purchase her back, and I started her under saddle in 2013 for the Mustang Million event, which was the biggest Mustang makeover that has ever happened, and it's just so special that she got to come to me after 6 years and maybe be a part of this.
One thing that we are really considering is we're only taking horses that are 6 years old and older, just so that way their joints and everything are finished fusing, just so everyone stays safe and sound. The other thing is we're only taking animals that we feel really comfortable with and confident in. Yeah. And then we have this lovely guy that'll join us. This is Caillou. He's half Kelpie and half Husky. Caillou in Inuit means mountain, and he's my ultimate mountain dog, from pulling me on my skis in the wintertime and ski touring to joining me in the mountains back home in Wyoming. So he should be really fun. And then Hannah has her own dog that's coming along.
I actually got a Belgian Malinois just for this trip because they're a dog that can not only be kind of a good protection, but also like they have the endurance to keep up with the amount of miles that we're going to be covering. So we'll have our dogs with us, our horses. I mean, it's just something I'm really looking forward to, and to be able to do it on the back of our Mustangs, to promote Mustangs, is, I mean, really just an amazing thing.
The dogs will even be trained to jump on the back of the Mustangs too. That's part of the plan this summer, is to get them accustomed to being on the back of the horses, and the horses getting accustomed, just so that way, for safety reasons, when we're around lots of traffic, it's easier to have the dog on top of the horse versus running around. So that's part of the training process this summer for these guys. So this here is the American Discovery Trail that we're following. We chose to go the southern route because we're actually leaving this October 1st, and we'll be riding through the winter. So we're starting here in Delaware, and we'll kind of be traveling like Delaware through October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May-ish. And then we'll get stuck in Colorado for a couple months because we'll have to wait for the snow to melt out of the Rockies. And then as soon as we can cross the Rockies, we'll go July, August, September, and then into California over here in October. So it'll take us 1 full year to complete this American Discovery Trail. Our buffer in Colorado here will help us. So like if there's any bad snowstorms while we're traveling through here or anything, or ice storms, as I hear is more common down there, we'll be able to kind of camp out for a week or two if need be. One thing I'm excited about riding through the winter there is I've spent some time in this area, and the chiggers and the seed ticks were horrible, so I'm hoping that those guys are a little bit more dormant that time of year and we don't have to deal with that.
We will have a support truck driver following us along our route, which is just an extra safety measurement, but also considering we'll be traveling through the winter. It's really important to us that we try to stay as healthy and keep each other our best interest in mind as far as health, and I'm sure we'll appreciate warming up after a long day after riding through winter.
While we're going along the way, part of it is we are looking for people and places to stay. One major focus for us is education, so we also want to do clinics and different things along the way about the Mustangs. So if you know of someone who lives somewhere along our route, we do have the support truck and trailer, so they don't have to be exactly on our route. We can trailer out an hour or two in either direction. But please reach out to us, shoot us an email with like addresses. We're putting together a map in Google Maps right now where we drop a pin wherever someone has suggested that we stay and their contact info. So that way when we get kind of in the area, like we'll be able to stay and connect with them. So it would be great if you know of anyone along the way to shoot us a message and let us know where you're at.
So a way that you guys can be a part of this journey is you can follow along either on our social media platforms. You can follow us. We'll be posting some blogs on MustangDiscovery.com, and we're actually in the process of making a documentary, which we're super excited about, because in order for us to reach our goal of promoting the adoption of 5,000 Mustangs, is we're going to need a broader audience to really make that impact. So we're really looking forward to that project.
For fundraising, this trip is completely made possible by sponsors and donors, and we're definitely looking for more. We need help taking care of horses, but not just that, like camping equipment or anything, and just places to stay, hay for our horses, food for us. That's always nice. Any little bit goes a long way. On our website, we actually have subscriptions that you can sign up for, just like you would Netflix or Hulu. So we have subscriptions for $5 to $50, and then you can also make a custom tax-deductible donation to our 501(c) for this as well.
Thanks so much for your support. Without you guys and everyone that's kind of following along, this trip wouldn't be possible.
And we're all here for the horses and the Mustangs. We really want to see them find really good, educated homes, and everyone across America needs to know what's going on with them.